All right, all right, all right. We're on the interwebs. Welcome to the closer. Hello, gun channels. Hello, internet. Hello, YouTubes. How's it going, guys? So we got I think I got kind of a fun, semi-planned, semi-programmed show tonight. I've got some stuff I want to talk about, which is a little different, right? The title of the show, as you see, is Poor Man's Shot. So that's kind of what I felt like I was dealing with today. Was at the Great Outdoor Show up in Harrisburg, which I hadn't been to since I was a little kid. And when I went before, it wasn't so much for the gun stuff, it was for the fishing stuff. So I was watching the guys fly fish and do all that kind of stuff. But this year exclusively was in the shooting room. Oh, they call it the shooting room, something like that. Met up with David Bowling, Kingpin, and we cruised around and caused trouble. Saw Tony Simon, talked to him a couple times, checked him out a couple times. We ran across each other. Saw Adam Kraut there, said hi to him. So it was really neat. It was really fun. And I will say, this is the first time I've ever been to an event that I took my tripod. I did some filming. I did some, some kind of not really interviews, but had some was at the Mossberg booth, for example, and had them go over the takedown of the new pistol, filmed it and all that kind of stuff. So I was really kind of proud of myself. If you've never done it, I was kind of nervous, just being kind of a nobody or whatever. But got in there, and once you ask one or two guys to do be on camera or whatever, sort of got over it a little bit and really had a good time. No, I did not invite Tony. I don't have Tony's email. If you have his email, please send him an invite. He's probably wiped out, but I did talk to him about being that I was going live tonight if he was interested to come check it out. So I've got some stuff to talk about, things that I looked at and some of the companies. It's a couple of good things, a couple of really good things, and a couple of bad things, some things that I didn't like. So we'll get into that, but let's say hi to everybody on the panel. Kiz, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, not a whole lot. Thanks for the invite, sir.
Absolutely, always. G, how's it going?
Good. I just sent Tony a link right now.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Obnoxious, what are you doing over there? What's going on? Are you in outer space tonight? Oh, my God. Oh, I wonder, you know what? I bet what he's saying is hilarious, but we can't hear it. Whatever you said, I bet you it was funny as hell. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Hilarious. Does that toilet boobs? Space
I am going where no man has gone before.
It kind of looks like if you ever watch a Mystery Science Theater, it kind of looks like the one puppet a little bit. I can't remember his name, unfortunately.
I thought it was the USS Shitter Prize.
Yeah, I can see that too. You got to watch out when you sit on that thing. You might get a phaser, torpedo up the old torpedo chute.
You start on like Tuesday, go into the store and buying all the materials to make these models, and you work on it through the week.
Oh, yeah. I pull out all the stops for the closer.
Well, if you're going to pull out all the stops, that's a good seat to be on when you do it.
Yeah, you definitely want to be on that seat if you're pulling out all the stops.
Very cool. Patriot, what's going on, buddy?
And I'm supposed to follow that, huh? Having a good week, and I just put out a new challenge since you got back from that outdoor show. Now you can show off your new EDC if you got one.
Well, that would be part of one of the things that I want to talk about actually a little bit.
Look at that. I did that timing just for you.
It's like you knew it. It's like you knew what I was going to talk about.
I took a couple weeks off and then threw 2 videos out today, so I'm going to take the next month off.
Well, I mean, yeah, you gotta. you like Gary. You work 1 or 2 days. You're off for a month or two. You work 1 or 2 days. It's good.
But thanks for the invite.
We just
No, absolutely. I am actually. I've told you that before. I'm jealous as hell. I'm pissed off. I hate you.
Oh, you said Gary's here?
If I ever see Gary crossing the street one of these times, I'm gonna clip him and try and take his job from him. Impersonate him for a while. See if I can.
Like you gonna clip his wings or what?
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever he got. Whatever it takes. Rich, what's going on?
Not much.
Didn't get a chance to listen to anything today. I listened to about 10 minutes of Yankees show, I think.
Yeah.
So what was
we ran short. We went for under an hour because we wanted to go over and check out the gun gals because they were doing their newlywed game thing tonight. That was freaking hilarious.
That was worth watching too.
Yeah. Okay.
People are like, what does your husband carry? Like what caliber or what gun does he carry? That kind of thing.
That would have been too easy.
Roll call. What's going on, buddy?
A whole lot. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, always. Sarge, what's new?
Nothing. Just got home a little bit ago. Should have got home about, I don't know, 5 hours ago, and I just got home an hour and a half ago. So, long day.
Yeah. Snob, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. Sarge must have had a long day. It was so long he didn't even have time to even say hi in the chat or on me or Obnoxious's show yesterday.
Oh
yeah. It didn't work out. I apologize. I was asleep before yours even came on. I was wore out yesterday. That's all right. We talked about you on Obnoxious's for quite some time when you didn't show up to say hi for either one of them. I can't. When you got to get up at 3:45.
Always some kind of excuse with you.
Gary does it all the time. I don't even want to hear it. Jeez. I will be on next week to everybody's show. If you don't have a show, I'm going to make up another show.
I thought you were going to say to everybody's chagrin.
No, that too. I'll be on everybody's show next week.
You know, it's weird. It's not showing me how many viewers we have.
It didn't show me the other day. It hasn't
really.
It didn't me either yesterday.
Let's show 18
on Hangouts. You got to go back over to YouTube to see how many viewers.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's
you got to have viewers for it to register.
Well, I got one out there. Jorge's out there, so it should say at
show
least
you
one.
How many viewer you have.
Yeah, how many viewer I got.
I don't know how many of them are awake, but there's 19 of them out there.
It's like a wrestling match. It's like a wrestling match. It's one at a time. They just tag, and the next guy comes and watch for a little bit. They tag out, and somebody new comes in until they get sick of it, get nauseous, and want to leave. You know. So we got out there. Ben's out there. Calavera, Psycho, Jorge, like we just said. Squib, what's going on? Squib, Vandalistica, Ozzy, what's happening? Stanley, Grim, Local 223, what's happening? Kingpin, what's going on? Kingpin says coconut butterscotch bars are banging. I told him he needs to do a video of that. And if he doesn't like them, I wouldn't be offended. I just know he was wrong. Snob's wife, what's going on out there? How was your show tonight? I heard it was awesome. Mel, the poor conservative, 2 Live Moo, Scott, Travis T, YP's out there. Oh, that seems like more than one. Unless they are coming all at once. Who knows? Snob's wife says she can only watch in smaller increments. Yeah, I know that. I know the feeling. I can't even watch my own shows the whole way through.
We don't want to hear about her sex life with Snob. It's always small increments.
There's a reason why Snob took her to get wieners yesterday.
The wife says the show was awesome and you got slapped an awful lot.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Crap out of him.
All right.
Newlywed game without one of the husbands getting their ass kicked on the show. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm surprised somebody didn't get you didn't get any teeth loosened up on you. All
I'm
right,
glad to see
so-
you were with stupid. Now you're with Patriot, who's stupid. So
Oh,
Patriot's
you
not going to
need-
get this, and he's not going to say anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
it's-
uh,
So did you really get slapped a lot? Do I need to send anybody over there to check on you?
You probably
Uh-oh.
should.
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to do a welfare check on him.
There you go.
So what's this slapping thing?
They did a newlywed game on Gun Gals tonight, and
Oh
Apparently-
yeah.
apparently
I was
Snob
taking
got-
notes.
Snob got
I
assaulted
was
in the
taking-
head.
Repeated
The next time they play that game, I tell you what, man.
See, I was taking notes for the future ex Miss Patriot. So
No, the green bean casserole queen herself.
rest in peace.
That sounds like a Queen song, doesn't it? Green bean casserole queen.
Okay.
Fat bottom girls.
Who's saying
Sing it to-
Mississippi Queen? I think we could change that around.
Oh yeah, Mississippi. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Mountain.
Yeah. So, like I said, I had a blast today. I sort of pretended, that I was. I sort of tried to treat it like I was important and that I mattered, and I feel like I did a good job. I would say if anybody's never done it, if everybody's never gone to any kind of show like this and taken a camera, taken a tripod, and talked to some of these guys, these people, do it. It's really fun. C4 says fake it till you make it. That's kind of how it is. But I actually got a really good response. And just like a lot of the other people say, they're not as concerned with the size of your channel and your quote unquote your reach as you would think. A lot of the companies are really interested in people that are interested in their products because they know word of mouth is important, I think, and a video that I've got some videos that are in the tens of thousands. My Vortex videos out there. I like to think that a positive review on that I did. I really like that red dot. Might have helped them sell some. Local 223. Did I need press credentials? No, it was an open show. It's open to the public. I just treated it. I kind of pretended it was my own little SHOT Show because a lot of the same companies were there, which is really cool. There's some people there that that knew, there was a lot of them knew gun channels as a group, and some of them knew some of the members. They got Tactical Walls was there. What's his name? Rich, I believe, the vice president of Tactical Walls. So I took a picture of him and texted it to Ghost, and Ghost is like, "Oh, how you doing? Say hi for me." So it was really cool. And I felt it was kind of sappy, but like I kind of felt like part of the gang. You know what I mean? So if you have the opportunity to do it, do it. It's really a fun thing. So couple of the cool things. I hit up Streamlight, who is a Pennsylvania company, which is really cool. So I'm going to be getting in touch with them to do some T&E for, one of their little EDC lights. They have one just like they have one that's just like the O light, and then they have one that's a step up that is actually rechargeable. You slide this, it's like a sleeve. You open it up a little bit, and you have the USB port there, so you don't have to worry about batteries. So I'm going to be in touch with them. I'm hoping that they'll throw one of those at me to play around with. I'll probably, send them links to the O-Light reviews that I did, and I hope that'll help. That would be really fun. Also, Mantis. I don't know. Man, I had a blast with Mantis today. I stopped over once, talked to him, and then swung back around when David was with me and did a video. And I'll tell you what, that's a really cool toy. Inexpensive, $160 or something on Amazon. I don't know how much experience you guys have with them. I don't know if you guys saw them at SHOT Show there. Okay.
Are you talking Mantis, like
what?
Aquaman's arch nemesis?
That's Manta. This is Mantis. That would, and I'm not going to make any kind of weird jokes about that. But they were really interested in the fact that I was interested in their product. So they're supposed to be sending me one for T&E, which is really cool. They had theirs set up on CO2 pistols so that you had the recoil, and I'll have a video coming out with them describing the product and stuff like that. So I was really, really happy today. I had a blast. So hopefully I'll have some videos where I can, just use it at the house and train with it and do some really cool stuff. I won't go into it a whole lot because I'll put out a video, but so that was really cool. I did a video with Mossberg. With I forget the gentleman's name. He was with Smith & Wesson for years, left and came to Mossberg to work on the new pistol. So talked to him for quite a while and had him do a demo of the takedown of the pistol, which was different. I've never seen a pistol takedown like this one. It was really cool. It's a no trigger pull takedown. There's actually a button on the back where the back plate would be on like a Glock or something. You take the back plate off, you actually push that in and that releases the slide, and you can take everything out through the back. You take the firing pin out through the back and the spring through the back, and then you you pull the slide off of slide the slide off of the frame. So that was really cool. You don't have to worry, and that's a flat trigger, and it was a really nice gun. I really liked it more than I thought. I wanted to check it out. Just because I knew it would be there, and I thought, well, this is a great opportunity to see it. And it is what I joked about when I first saw it. I was like, oh, somebody threw a Shield and a Taurus in a blender and out popped a Mossberg. Visually, that's and when you hold it, that's really what it feels like. But it feels really good in the hand. It's a sort of a lower capacity. It's like 6 in 1 or 7 in 1. But I really, really liked it. So it was cool. Checked out the King Cobra, which I actually did not like. I really expected to kind of go pick up the King Cobra, and I expected it to be like awesome. And I didn't really like it. I didn't like everybody talks about grip angles with Glocks.
I think the word is whine about grip angles and Glocks.
Well, okay. Yeah, whatever. The King Cobra was the same way for me. When I held it and I pointed it, I didn't like the way it pointed. And I'm not a revolver guy, so I'm probably the worst dude ever to take any advice from on revolvers. But I didn't love it. And I did not like the cylinder release. And apparently this is kind of a picture of it here. Apparently this is kind of, I guess, a Colt thing, which, like I said, I don't know much about them. I want to screen share.
You got to pull it back, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, annoying. That's the worst thing about Colts.
Okay. Well, now I don't feel bad because I feel the same way.
No, Colts look neat, but if you want to actually use one, you got to move your hand. Most people have to move their hand to open it. It makes no sense.
Yeah, their cylinder release on those Colts is very unintuitive.
It's a
Smith &
weird
Wesson
deal.
one much easier to use because you just push it forward.
Oops. Hold on. Let me redo that there. Yeah, if you've never, if you were like me and you've never, held a Colt, visually it was really nice looking. I liked it. Looked nice. I mean, nothing too out of the ordinary, I don't think. But right here is the cylinder release. Okay, every revolver I've ever held, which has only been a few, you push the cylinder release forward, in this instance to the left, and it drops the cylinder, or opens the cylinder up. With the Colt, you pull it back, and not only do you have to pull it back, but that edge is really, really sharp, which I guess they want it to be sharp so it doesn't slip out of your hands. But I just did not like it. I didn't like it at all. Was kind of bummed out because I thought that was going to be a pretty cool thing.
Is that better for a left-handed person?
I guess
That
if you
are
were
all upside down and backwards.
I guess if you were gonna pull, you could. I don't know. I never even thought about somebody pulling it with their left hand, but I guess I don't know that it would be better or not. I think it would probably be awkward, just like a righty. So I don't know if you guys have anybody on the panel have any experience with it other than G. Get your hands on one if you can.
I fired cold revolvers before. I don't like the slide release. I mean, cylinder release. You want to say slide?
Yeah.
I don't like the cylinder release on my cold fighter.
Yeah. I had some stuff queued up. Here's the Mossberg pistol too. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure people have seen it because it's been all over the internet, right? I'm like the last person to get on the train. But
did you see the price of it?
Yeah, it's $425 manufacturers for the base model. They do have one with an integrated laser and night sights. I can't remember the price of that off the top of my head. They're working. They're not yet working with like Crimson Trace or anything, but he said that that's in the works. So hopefully they'll have a little more, maybe some more gadgets and gizmos. Does have a flat trigger. The trigger was nice. It was really smooth. It racked really nice. It was, I mean, and I was like, wow, everything feels great. He's like, well, yeah, you got to understand too. This has been probably worked 20,000 times this week, so it's definitely got some use out of it already. It's nice and broke in, but without ever being shot. Yeah, size-wise, feels like a shield in your hand. It's got sort of a narrow grip, which I actually really liked. The trigger was flat, which I've never actually shot a flat face trigger, but it didn't feel odd to me. I thought it would feel a little bit weird, but I liked it. I will say it's hard to. I don't know if you can't really see it on this picture, but the trigger guard at the base towards the back where it attaches to the grip or whatever comes out and it flares out a little bit. I actually didn't like that. It kind of dug into the top of my middle finger a little bit, and I could see if you were shooting a lot that would rub and kind of rub the top of your finger. I actually said something to him. I was like, yeah, I think if I would ever buy this, I think I would actually take that and probably sand it down to smooth it, to even it out a little bit so it didn't flare out. But other than that, I really liked it. It's the MC1 SC. And then they have different models. Here's the Mantis too, if people have not seen the Mantis. It looks like a laser. You mount it on the rail. Now you can, what I didn't know about this was you can mount it and shoot it with snap caps, but you could also use it at the range, which is really cool. You can put it on there, go to the range and shoot, and it gives you real-time feedback. And for the price, boy, I was really impressed. I thought it was really cool, and I'm hoping that the guy sort of comes through on his promise. And he was marketing. He was one of he wasn't just a sales guy. He was a director or something.
They'll come through.
I'm hoping he comes through because I really want to play with this thing. I'll tell you, it was really neat, and to not have to buy a target, to not have to do it, just to be able to download it and free download. When a new one comes out, you can update it for free. You don't have to pay for an update or anything like that. I was really, really, really cool. I like that a lot.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When you test it, are you going to test it doing the dry fire and everything, or are you going to test it at the range?
I want to do both. I told the guy I want to beat the shit out of it. So
which one are you going to do first?
At the house, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay. The only reason I say that is because I've got to test this one here, and I don't want to step on your toes. So, if you want to do that, I'm just saying to start with, I'll do mine outside, and I'm going to link your video to doing the other side of it.
Yeah, that's cool. And when I'm going to put this first video out here, just with their talking about it and stuff. And it's nice because it's not just me, bullshitting my way through it. Like, it was actually really a nice couple-minute demo from them. So, yeah, you can use this on any railed pistol. You could also use it on an AR. And they are working on, I think he said, boy, what did he say? May. They're expecting a version to be out that you can use with a shotgun. They said that this won't work on a shotgun well, just the way that the shotguns, I don't know if it's the amount of play that they have in them or what, but they're going to be coming out with a shotgun version too, which is really cool. So maybe in the future they'll have one that works for everything. I don't know, but this is a really cool product. I'm super excited about this, and I'm really, really happy that I talked to him and did the amount of, gave them the amount of time that I did, because I think it's going to pay off. Now, I did not put a picture of this up yet on Instagram, but we walked past, we swung by the Nighthawk booth, and I'll tell you what, man, as much as I want to get a 1911, man, I picked this up. This is the Doug Turnbull edition Nighthawk.
Did they hold their hand under yours just so you wouldn't drop it?
Picked it up. You mean when you say picked it up, you bought that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I traded them. I mean, it was more of a trade. I mean, the guy was really impressed with my Bursa. He really liked my Bursa, so we kind of did. I put a little cash on top of it, but just to be nice,
You're gonna make a video.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you traded me for it.
I thought he was going to say you traded favors for it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, $7,500 price tag. That's a lot of favors. I don't know that I can. A lot of favors. I don't know that I have enough. I don't know that I have the longevity to do it, but
that's a lot of Kobe steak burgers there.
That is. But I'll tell you what, I've really grown to like case hardening. That case hardened look, I think it's really cool. And a couple of months back, we talked about on the show, we talked about the Turnbull AR-15 that was all case hardened. I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I just kind of was skimming over everything, and of course the case hardening kind of popped out to me, and I was like, wow, that's really nice. Those grips are mammoth grips. Those are fossilized mammoth grips.
So when are they sending you your T&E version of that?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, that's what. Yeah, I was like, so when how do I get a hold of one of these to throw it around in the range and drop it in the dirt a little bit? And he was just, they laughed slightly.
Do you know how Nighthawk works?
No, I mean, I know a little bit about the company, but I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you mean?
So, like, if you ordered that gun, you'd order that gun. I mean, I guess they might have off-the-shelf guns, but for the most part, you go there. It's like buying a suit or something in a nice place. You order that gun, and then they talk to you about the specifics. Maybe you want to tweak something. And then a guy sits down and starts building that gun for you, and he builds that gun, and he has his name on there, his initials, his mark or whatever. And then for the rest of time, if you ever have an issue and it goes back to Nighthawk, it goes to that dude. So
I knew
that Nighthawk are like the gunsmiths are your gunsmith. Like when you buy a Nighthawk, you're having a relationship with that gunsmith.
That's awesome. And one of the things that I did see, and I think it was in their brochure, they have a slogan that says "One gun, one gunsmith." I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was cool. I've never felt a trigger like this thing has. It was the craziest, like, just smooth. I mean, it just I can't really even describe it.
Was the trigger made out of a woolly mammoth?
It was probably lubed.
Tiger.
I heard it was lubed with woolly mammoth tears. That's why it was so smooth. But yeah, I mean, I know I'm gushing a little bit, but I've never held anything like this. This is something that I've never experienced. So even without shooting it, it was pretty awesome.
But it made you go throw away your 9mm?
I mean, it would definitely. I would pitch. Yeah, If you said we'll give you this Nighthawk, you're gonna have to get rid of your 40, your 40 and your 9s, and I would gladly give them up to charity. Yeah, this thing was nice. So the picture I took doesn't do it justice for sure. I mean, these are obviously professional pictures, and mine was just on the glass top with a Nighthawk little hand towel underneath it with a like a logo terry cloth towel or whatever. But yeah, it was really cool. So
that's the towel that they used to wipe it off after you were touching it.
That was I actually asked them for that because I was going to take a picture. And I was like, do you guys have something I can wipe this down with? Because it was all fingerprinted up and stuff.
Yeah.
And
what he's talking about, they were wiping his drool off of it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, and this is me being, again, like, I'm the everyday guy, right? My instinct at first was I grabbed my shirt, and I was going to wipe it off with my shirt, and I was like, whoa, hold on, buddy. I had to stop myself. I was like, you're going to look, I was like, boy, these guys are going to think you're an idiot. And I was like, do you guys have a towel in the back that I can, wipe this down with real quick? And they had a really nice, the towel alone was probably, the Nighthawk towel was probably worth more than any of the guns I own. But just gave it a quick wipe down and whatever. This slide is really nice. The finish is just like glass, on the slide. And yeah, it was really, really nice. And that's what I took a couple of dry fires with it and handed it to David. I was like, okay, just pull that trigger. And he smiled. He was like, oh my God. So it was cool. David, I didn't even see you pop in. What do you think? The Nighthawk, what do you think?
I tried to explain it a little bit to Rich and Gary earlier. They're amazing. Like, I've never held that expensive of a gun. And when you're thinking about the cost, you're thinking about it. But when I had it in my hand, the cost just slipped out of my brain, and I was just able to enjoy it. Like the stainless steel one that I was messing with. When it's sitting there on the table and you're touching it, it's like, man, this is gonna feel terrible in my hands. It's way too aggressive in the grip. And then you pick it up, and then, like I told Gary, it was like nestling an angel in your hands. It was so nice.
It felt like baby angels. It was a Clover Tack thing. Yeah, that was. It was definitely something to, if you're ever somewhere, if you're ever at a show and there's one and you get the chance to fool around with it, it definitely puts into perspective some of the other guns that I've used in my life. To see something that somebody has put so much, like, just care, every detail, just thinking about every detail and the way everything looks and the way everything feels. It was really awesome. So that was cool. David, well, I got you. Well, now that you're in here, what did you think? What were your thoughts today? What popped out at you? What do you think was really cool?
What I thought was pretty cool was there was a lot of stuff. I've been to a bunch of gun shows, and most of the gun shows that I've been to, like your regular everyday gun shows, I just call flea markets. There's a lot of tables with a bunch of trash on it that I'm not interested in looking at, but each booth had stuff that I was interested in looking at. And I know it's their job to talk to the people, but, and you saw there was a couple people that we talked to that were like, man, wish we wouldn't talk to them. And then a couple people, like the Tactical Walls guy, was like excited to stand there and talk to us. Like we weren't a burden to him. And that was pretty cool. A lot of times you go to shows like that, or your regular gun show, and you start asking questions, and people are like, give me some money here, get out of here.
Just walk away, right? Just walk away.
Right, yeah.
We did have one experience, and obviously that she did not mean it this way. It's just me and my weird sense of humor. I obviously took it the way that she said it in this manner, but it was funny because we had stopped at the Henry booth. We were talking about rifles, and they had a giveaway if you give them your email or whatnot. They were going to have a drawing for a Henry Golden Boy. I was like, well, hell, why not? So we talked about them, and I put my email in a little bit, and we go walking around the booth, and an hour later or whatever, we come up beside this Henry utility UTV or whatever. And I was like, well, that's pretty sweet. You know, I was like, how do we get a hold of one of these things? And she said, oh, just put your email in and, you know, we give one away a year or whatever she said. I don't remember. I was like, oh, what the hell? It's, you know, I already gave Henry my email once. Might as well give it again. And I started putting my email in and I said, yeah, we you know, we put in for the Golden Boy. Maybe we'll win both. She's like, oh, well, if you're already involved, if you already have that one, we already have your email today. They all go in and you know, you could win no matter where you filled out your application or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had my name in, but nothing else. So I started to try. I was like, oh, shoot, how do I stop this? I don't want to, you know, just start banging buttons and whatnot. I was like, to just like back out of it or, you know, and she's like, oh no, just hit the back button. And I hit it a couple times and it didn't read my finger the one or two times, which is fine, you know. So I hit it a couple times and I was like, am I hitting the right thing here? And she says, yeah. Just, you know, just backspace out of it. And I went all the way back. And then she said, and then it'll just reset. Just walk away. And it was just funny the way she said it. And it was just funny because we were just talking about how, you know, you want to feel like not obtrusive and you want to, you know, you want people to feel glad that you're there. And it was just the way she said it was really funny. And she didn't mean it in a bad way, but she was like, just walk away. Just walk away. I was like, all right, just walk away.
Back away.
We had a
slowly.
Just back away.
Just take your gun wiping T-shirt and walk away.
That's right. Hey, it was a polo pullover I was wearing. It was a nice shirt.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you classed it up.
Yeah, I did. But that was yeah, and you know, David and I talked about that a bunch of times. How it was the people that were there, even though this was the last day of a 10-day exhibit or whatever you want to call it. Like, I feel like for the most part, 99.9% of the people were happy to see us, happy to have our attention. You know what I mean? So that was really cool. I'll tell you, we stopped over at Geisley. I thought the trigger on my AR was pretty nice till I pulled one of the demo triggers on one of them things. Jesus. They were really nice. That was really cool. If you've never had a chance to go and see one of the displays with, I think it had 6 or 7 different triggers set up, so you could pull them all side by side to really get a feel for them. That was really cool.
$200 doesn't seem that bad when you test one out. When you try one,
I'll tell you,
well, you know, that might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, and if you're if you're putting the rifle together yourself, and you can save some money here and there, and then, you know, if you feel like the trigger is where you want to really ball out, that was really nice. They were really nice, and they had swag like crazy. They were there to do a good job for sure. They had patches and stickers and all sorts of stuff all over the place. You know, little gun lube samples and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. They did a good job. Travis says their triggers are sweet. It's hard to understand until you actually fire one. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
That's kind of where I was at, because I had never fired a flat trigger before. And when I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, that's weird looking. And then being able to, because they had a couple of the displays had flat triggers, and it was really nice experience getting to you know, sit there and pull the trigger as many times as I wanted to get used to it. So it was a lot different than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Down there, they're talking about the Colts.
You're talking pull the trigger indoors. You're not at a range. There's on the live fire.
Right. No, they didn't have any live. They don't have live fire or anything like that. No, it was just the tabletop demo, like the demo setups where they have the grip with the hammer. You know, it's like a lower. It's like a half of a lower, and it has the little rubber stopper, so that the trigger, you know, hits that. And so yeah, it's just to feel the actual break and how much creep. And that was even some of theirs. Like, it's funny because, you know, compared to you know, mine, which, you know, has a little bit of take up in it. You know, their crappy ones are still way better than that. But then when you, not crappy, but they're, you know, they're regular ones, standard ones, and then you take even their standard ones, which is nicer than anything I've ever shot, compared to their, I forget which one it was, their 2-stage, that not the flat one. They had one that was like, it wasn't round and it wasn't flat. It was like a hybrid shape. That was awesome. That was amazing. It just was crazy. So if you have the money to put into it, there you go. Tactical Walls was really cool. We stopped over there and saw some new stuff. Sarge, there was one over there that you would have liked. It had they had like a distressed American flag look to it. You know, a little bit less obvious than most of the wall mounted sort of hide a safe kind of things. I really, really like that one. That was really cool. And they had just a little, really simple looking coffee table that I think was that we really liked, and that had the RFI, forget, RFI card. Use the card, which I didn't know you actually get the code for stuff, and then you can have other cards programmed. I didn't really even know that's how that worked. I thought it was specific to what you got, but that was really nice. Not that I have the money for any of that kind of stuff right now, but it's nice to actually see that stuff in person, because seeing it online or something doesn't really do it justice. And I know some of the stuff in the past, or some of the stuff that you see at gun shows, aren't nice compared to these. A lot of the stuff is really solid. The table's really solid. Like you push on it and try and wiggle it around, and it's well built. It doesn't feel like something from IKEA. So that was really cool. That was surprising too. I was really happy with that. So I don't know, David, what do you think? Anything else?
As far as the tactical walls thing, the being able to see it up close and touch it was definitely a difference maker, because like the longer shelf that they had, the one that had the 2 magnets on it, and you had to close each side at one time, like that right there, being able to look at it and see that one side had a gap on it if it wasn't perfectly placed, turned me off to it. But then the cabinets that you were looking at and the coffee table that I was looking at were amazing. The coffee table looked exactly like any one of my mom's or grandma's coffee tables from when I was a kid.
Yeah, it honestly looks like not even, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's built really solid, but it doesn't look, it would not grab your attention. It's not like fancy. It doesn't have anything on it that would draw your attention and be like, oh, that's really cool. It's just like a generic table, which I think is cool. But yeah, they had a shelf.
The bad guys are in there looking around. They're like, these people don't really have anything, but this coffee table is awesome. Let's grab it.
Right. Yeah. But they run it. Yeah. Somebody breaks into your house and runs away with a nice coffee table and then finds out a year later that it's got a gun in it. They're like, damn, I was just looking for some nice furniture for the apartment.
Irony.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the irony.
How long do you think that how long do you think that shelf was, David? Like probably 36 inches, maybe a little bit longer.
At least, yeah, it was definitely.
You know what? It was probably 4 feet. It was probably 4, and he was talking about how it worked, and it was really nice, and it was solid, but it was really long. And how they work, if you've never seen them, is you get a magnet. They come with these. They almost look like huge push pins, almost like huge thumbtacks, but they're magnets, and you put them on specific spots. So say again?
Like a chess piece?
Almost, yeah, almost like a pawn, but like thicker, right? Yep. And you put them on the underside of one side and the underside of the other, but you have to have them pretty much where they need to be, and you have to have them both at the same time, and then you push up and it comes down, slowly opens up. And I honestly said this when we were there. I was like, it seems 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody's pounding on your door. if you're the kind of person that would want to keep your one and only gun in that, I don't see it being as practical as it should be. Now, when they shorten that shelf up, they have one that's like 20 inches. You only need one of the magnets, and that I think is a better idea. But still, it's kind of weird. You gotta know where to put it. You definitely have to practice with it. But the table having the card was not as precise. You didn't need to be as precise. You can kind of put the card there and sort of swipe it or whatever. And it popped open really nice. You could also program like the armbands, the RFD or RFI armbands or whatever. You could have them programmed and use it for that. So, you could wear it at night in bed. You wouldn't have to worry about having a card. You can just jump up and, kind of like the Hornady has the safes. They started doing those safes. So that was cool. RFID. Thank you, DT Pfeiffer. Jesus. We were debating that earlier between us. It was like, is it RFI? And David said, I think it's RFD. We're both wrong. But so the tactical wall thing was really cool too. We had a good time. We swung by Crossbreed and checked out some belts and stuff like that. Talked to the Taurus guy for a while. That guy was really cool. So I don't know. What do you think?
Did you tell him you knew Matt?
Say again?
I said, did you tell the Taurus guy you knew Matt? Get you any good graces with
him? I
said,
I'm a member of Gun Channels. He's like, oh, Matt Channel. The Taurus doesn't even acknowledge Gun Channels. They call it Hanson Channel, probably.
The other thing that I thought was pretty cool is when we were over at the Henry booth, and I was explaining to the lady the problem I was having with my magazine feeder and for my tube. She said, send me an email. Here's my card. I'll send you a replacement. Yeah. That was it. She said, I know exactly what the problem is, and we'll replace it for you. Just send me your address.
Yeah. Henry was cool. One of the things that was really neat about Henry, we talked about this on the show. Henry, the Golden Boys do the engravable side plates, which are really neat. If you ever, if you got a kid and you want to buy him his first rifle, or, for our family, we wanted to get one that had the date of the date that my grandfather bought our family's land, our camp, where our camp is. And we're going to all chip in and get one. So you buy the rifle and then you can have the side plate engraved from them. They send you another one. So, it's kind of weird that I don't think you can get it with that side plate. I think you have to buy the rifle, then order the side plate. So you'd have an extra side plate laying around, but it's like $150 and you get so many characters, and they do, they have set like scroll work and stuff that they do. But, if you have a kid, you want to buy him his first rifle at 16 or something like that, or your father-in-law, for a retirement party.
16? What?
No, but I was shot way before that too. But I didn't have a gun. I didn't have a gun that was actually mine until I was hunting. I guess I had a shotgun, but that was even a hand-me-down. So, we all have, like, hand-me-down guns and, something that was your uncle's or something. Now it's yours, that kind of thing. But, something brand new, something that you buy for a Christmas present or something, or like a retirement thing. If your father-in-law retires, like, that would be pretty cool, I think. So that was really neat. I don't think anybody – I don't even people that I shot with when I was a kid, family and friends, but everybody had hand-me-down guns. I don't remember anybody buying new guns when I was young or their parents buying them new guns. That would be out of the ordinary for us. Kingpin, anything else? Trying to think what else.
Yeah, it was cool to meet up with Tony. Tony Simon was. I didn't get a chance to talk to him long, but it was nice to meet him.
Yeah, he was working. He worked that show, man. He was there every day, I think, the whole time. Yeah. So it was, it was neat. Hopefully, I don't know what everybody's plans are next year. I know C4, you're not that far away, obnoxious, you guys, it'd be great to meet up there next year, one of the days and, give it a once through. It's not that big of a room, that you can't, you can do it in a day. You can do it in if you give yourself a nice 5-6 hour block, you could really take your time and go through and talk to people and do some videos and stuff like that. It's not nearly what you guys sure dealt with out at SHOT. Now that's just the shooting booth. If you're into hunting, or if you're into, camping, if you're into fishing, if you're into that kind of stuff, there's other rooms that are dedicated just to that. But, other than that, I mean, you can just hit what we did today.
Yeah,
Sarge, if you're gonna,
I had the same luck as Squid did. He broke the control arms on his truck, and my wife's sensor that controls traction control went in on Friday and was affecting the power steering and everything else. So we weren't able to go either.
I know it, man. I was supposed to go Tuesday, and the wife is not feeling well, and she's still not, but. Little guy was just getting over a cold. She was just getting it. So I didn't go Tuesday. We didn't go Tuesday. So it was, and I was kind of worried about going the last day. I was really worried about, people being kind of over it. The exhibitors being like, oh man, let's just get the hell out of here. I don't want to be here. Let's get the hell out of here. But I didn't get that feeling at all. And I will give them credit for that. We felt welcome, and they were open, and they told us, I was like, man, this is a long show. They're like, yeah, we're wiped out. But they weren't bitching. They weren't whining. They were, it was cool. It was good to see it. So Sarge, you got to get out of here. That's cool. If you want to do some plugs here quick, go ahead.
Yeah, I got to slip out. I ended up having to work tomorrow, a side job. So I gotta go to bed. I appreciate the invite. But I'm going to take some time and do some editing tomorrow. That's good, because I should be able to do dual purpose. And I apologize to the other guys for not making the chats over the weekend. I was tired, but I will always learn to check in and say hello. And then, because I'm going to pull a Gizzard tournament, and I'm going to fall asleep if I don't get out of here now. And I know that you guys know how to turn a camera on, so that won't save me. But like I said, I appreciate it. And you should try to set a record, and I'll just get in on the end of the chat when I get up at 3:45. just stay on.
I'll just let it run in. I am wiped out. I'll tell you what, my Monday was an 18-hour day. Saturday was a 17-hour day.
Yeah.
Friday was a 12.5-hour day. Those they're just three days. But, and then I'll tell you what, man, I drug my ass out of bed this morning. I was so tired. Headache, just feeling like crap. But once I got downstairs, and I had my backpack packed up last night. As soon as I grabbed a water out of the fridge and threw it in there, grabbed a banana, and I was out the door. I was excited. I was really excited, and so it was cool. Yeah, I did, later. And I only bought one thing. Here, Sarge, check this out. You might like this.
What is it?
I bought one thing there. I didn't have a whole lot of money to spend. I bought one PMag. And it's from a local place in Pennsylvania, real close to where I actually grew up. And I saw this, and I was like, man, I really need to buy that. It's a butter churned AR-15 stock. It's awesome. Now it's a PMag, and they did the laser engraving, which I think is really cool. And I think, you should do some laser engraved gun channels mags and sell them to us and make yourself some money. But it's a mag with an exploded view of an AR-15.
Oh, that's
and I was
cool.
like, that's really cool, right? It's on both sides. And I was like, how neat is that?
You can put it right back together real quick.
Yeah, I suck with this stuff. So now if when shit hits the fan, I just have to make sure I have this mag and I'm good to go. I mean, what more is there to know that number one thing goes into the number two thing, and then you just push them together real hard, and then you got a gun.
How much was it?
$25. No, I did talk to them.
Cool mag.
We did talk to them about. We did talk about them for some pricing and what they charge if you supply the mags, you know, and if you supply the vector image and all that kind of stuff. So if you're, I don't know if you've ever been interested in doing something like that, G, but I mean, if you are, I mean, it would be cool if you guys, if you would, you know, sell that. I'm sure you'd get a bunch of us to pre-order them, so you know you're not in, you know, not in dire straits to try and put some money out there. I think it'd be really cool. I know I'd get a Gun Channels mag for sure. No, I don't know, but that kind of caught my eye when we were walking by. I thought they were pretty neat. Kind of a fun little gizmo, right? So, what's going on out there in the chat? A lot of chat stuff, and I have not been watching it at all. But they are going at it pretty well out there. So Squib trying to make PA Memorial Day, you know. For the man that gives people crap, stop complaining, Fry Cook. I'm watching Fry Cook. There you go. Budget said he would buy some Gun Channels logo mags. Jorge says he has 2 mags with one with the Spikes Tactical Spider logo and one with Hillary behind bars. Yeah, they had. Oh, what was the one with the ATF guy? They had the guy that had he has like a hat and ATF. It says ATF on it, and he's kind of squinting and he's looking at you kind of side-eyed, and it says, "I'm watching you very carefully." It's kind of funny. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, it was neat because it's a local company to me. Literally, if I would do something with them, I'd be able to not have them shipped and you know, save that kind of stuff. And so in the future, man, I don't know, maybe it'll be able to do it. I don't know. Pretty cool. We did not, man, ARs all over the place. I was kind of AR'd out after about the first couple, you know, first few booths. There's some cool stuff, but I wasn't really, there was other neat stuff to worry about. There's some pretty cool precision rifle builders there that were doing some really neat stuff. Some cool custom like bolt handle, you know, bolt knobs and stuff like that. That was pretty cool to see some of that stuff, and which I'm sure is easy for them to do. I'm sure that's nothing fancy, but not necessarily something I really think about buying.
So you did handle a lot of those knobs?
I did. Yeah. I did a good job at it. Yeah. I did a good job. Yeah. Good at knob jobs, you know.
What was that gun that they had the skis on? You know,
oh, the Lottie. Yeah, they had somebody. They had a that was for some group was there. I think that's a fundraiser or whatever, and they had a Lottie, the 20 millimeter. Was it 20 millimeter? 20 millimeter, the anti-tank, the Finnish from Finland with the skis on it, has done up with wooden furniture, you know, the wooden furniture. It was in great shape too. It was gorgeous. It was so nice.
Well, they were
but that was
something.
What's that? No, they were. It was just. I think it was just there as a talking point. You know what I mean? They were an organization.
They were a fundraiser, so like what? They were raffling off a lottie.
Yeah.
How much would it for that?
Yeah. No, it was just there in the background. It was kind of walking by, and I thought it was. I saw it out of the corner of my eye a little bit, and kind of almost walked past it. And I actually thought at first, not really paying attention, that it was like a demo gun. You know, they make the demo guns that are like twice as big, or they're 4 times the size of what they are. And I thought it was something like that. And right as we're walking by, I was like, hey, hold on a second. And I skipped back there and I was like, is that a Lottie? And yeah, it was really cool. So it was neat. So that'd be good. You can mount it on the hood of the car or something like that. That's what I would do. Pfeiffer says 20 millimeter life. Yeah. EDC the Lottie. Changed my mind.
That would definitely trump Jumpy's 10mm life.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Well, there's also
it was
the Canon.
Yeah, dude had a there was some old stuff there. There was some guys that did like skirmish, reenactment stuff, some cannons and some reproduction stuff, but there was some original stuff too, which was really neat. There was some single action revolvers. That was pretty cool. I don't really have I don't have any experience with single action, so it was neat to check out. Yeah, it was like I say, I've never been to SHOT, and I'm sure SHOT blows this away, but if you're close enough, if you're within if you're within a couple hours of Central PA next year, and you really want to sort of get your feet wet doing some industry stuff, I guess we could call it, this is a good place to do it. So I would be nervous as hell going to SHOT, but now that I've done this, I actually feel a lot more confident, and I'm kind of proud of myself for putting myself out there and stuff like that. So it's pretty neat. So I think everybody ever since Rants and Raves roll call, it's been pretty much a given all week that you were going to win the Wound Up Sumbitch of the Week.
Really?
What do you mean, really? Don't be surprised. Don't be coy. Oh, you. Budget says they got to take some vacation next year and go to this. You do, buddy. You would have a blast if you're. I mean, I don't know. I know you got to stick kind of close to home because of the family. But it would be it'd be a good overnighter for you for sure. So roll call. You are the Wound Up Sumbitch of the Week. You win.
All right.
What?
I know. Can you guys believe it?
Man, I demand a recount after my Tom Brady rant on Wednesday.
Oh, recount. Okay. Well, Jesus.
You go ahead and hope for that recount. You obviously didn't see the show.
I'm upset though because Night Strike gave it away to everybody last night, and that really hurt my feelings because I had no clue Roll Call would get it after his show. I don't know.
Shit. If you listened to more than a minute and a half of rants and raves on set, it was a given. People in the audience were even like, "Oh, this is a shoe-in. This is an easy one this week."
Have you ever watched their show? Period. You could give it one of those two every week.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm seeing a pattern with this Wound Up Sumbitch of the Week, and the pattern is roll call. Whether it's rants and raves or budget guns and gear show, there seems to be a common topic, and it's roll call, row cruise.
I get wound up a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that, buddy.
Should be just disqualified for competition. Just move to the Hall of Fame for ranting. At this point,
Did you watch Ghost Show this week? I think it was.
No, I did not. I had work was brutal this week. I've been playing. I just have not been able to watch stuff. No, I didn't. What happened?
What was the name of her? I can't remember her name.
Carrie Sloan.
Thanks. She was on from Washington State. She's I guess she was a blogger, and then Colion Noir or somebody reposted her blog, and then she became a Second Amendment advocate.
Oh, okay. I think I heard you say something about that. Like she just kind of fell into it, huh?
Something like that. And then, but anyway, she was definitely gone. She would take the topic and run with it. I thought you'd give it to her, but obviously you're sexist.
Well, see, I even sent you an email about that with a timestamp on when she went, the furthest off the rails.
Well,
he had an email with a timestamp, and he deliberately chose a male. Sexist.
Mm-hmm. What can I say?
If you watch Ghost Show, she definitely took over that show. It was like when Robin Williams would be on the Tonight Show, and then Johnny Carson or Jay Leno would completely lose control of the show. That's what happened on Tuesday.
I'll have to check it out. I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it in the morning tomorrow on my way into where I'll start listening to it. So you can usually listen a little bit in the beginning of the work when I'm doing some prep and get a little something in. Jorge says women need to stay in the kitchen. Just kidding. So yeah, I'm super interested. I don't know. Pfeiffer says, "Oh yeah, she was pretty wound up. I don't know if she's a sumbitch though. That seems inappropriate." Yeah, I guess I don't know, man. I would imagine that anybody, a female that would jump into, a lot of the chats around here, I think they might relish the name, the tag. Gizzard, you're heading out. That's cool. You wanna plug us other than Friday night? You got anything cool going on?
Do I have anything going on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ate some Taco Bell nacho fries today.
Ooh.
And did a little bit of a video on that. You'd be surprised how good they are.
That's what I hear.
Really couldn't express it well in that.
I think you misread what you were telling him Patriot said.
Yeah, I'm not real sure why he was talking.
Yeah, I gotta run. Yeah, I gotta run. My daughter's only went to school 3 days in the last 2 weeks, so I gotta get her up and make sure she goes to school tomorrow.
But she's gonna be a monster in the morning. You know that.
Oh no. She went to bed regular. She's a little angel. She's just driving me crazy. I gotta get some work done.
Yeah.
So, anyways, check out the EDC challenge, and thanks for having me. Everybody have a great night.
See you, Patriot.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
Patriot.
And I'm looking forward to some coconut, so I'll give you my address. You can send it to me.
There you go.
You put coconut in green bean casserole?
No. Butterscotch.
Hopefully
There
the
you
ones they send you aren't the ones that he made in 2017.
Yeah, I got some of those
my
laying around from the original video.
Collector items.
Yeah, if you need to hammer over the rear sight on a pistol or something, you can just use that as a block. It'll work great.
The question is, will you autograph them for him?
Boob
wheel
Sweat.
chops.
Yeah, there you go. Boob Sweat says, Yankee Marshall was pretty wound up tonight about Hickok. Yeah. I listened to a few minutes of his show, and he really let him know what he thinks about him, huh? He didn't hold back a whole lot. You don't know me's question. Are most of your guns in your safe loaded or not loaded? I don't keep anything loaded except for the ones that I would that would be go-to guns. I don't keep anything loaded in the safe. I don't know about you guys. I know some of you. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys said everything in safe or out of safe is loaded.
I can neither confirm nor deny whether my guns are loaded or not.
Mm-hmm.
But if you
identify as loaded,
if you find a gun in my house, there's a good chance that it's loaded.
Some are, some aren't.
Yeah.
I even keep my nail guns loaded, so you never know.
Ooh, they go all lethal weapon on us.
Yeah,
right.
Shit. We're gonna take this shit back to the Middle Ages. Here you go. Here's a nail to the face.
They're calling Snob Roger at this point.
Nope. If they are guns that I have run through my test firing with, they are loaded. If I haven't fired them yet and haven't put the 200 rounds through them that I feel comfortable before I'll carry anything, then they are not loaded.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have kids, and the dogs can't work the safe, so I'm all right. Well, the one is a border collie. She's a rocket scientist, so
They're smart, yeah.
yeah.
Snob, I think the wife is really, man, she's really throwing you under the bus there. She says, as for one who has been shot with said nail gun, not so good.
Yeah. She was holding the other side of a door frame, and
Jesus, dude!
I said, "Oh, it won't. Don't worry, I won't miss. It won't shoot through." Yeah, I missed, and it shot her in the leg. I think it was not a pleasant day at work.
Jesus Christ, man!
It was just a little finish nail.
A fucking newlywed game. Has your husband ever shot you?
Has your husband ever shot you a nail gun?
Jesus!
I don't feel so bad about hitting my wife in the head with a mag light once. Now
I was just gonna say, man, I hope my wife is watching right now. I know she's sick and she's probably asleep, but I've never shot her.
No, I got mine with the mag light once in the head, but I've never shot her with a nail gun.
I thought they were going to go with the newly divorced show.
Yeah.
The way that show was going, if it would have went on, how much longer Snub would have been.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, those
Christian was going to beat them to death. The two.
And just in case you're wondering, apparently those pass load impulse guns hurt pretty bad when they shoot you.
Good to know. I don't want to get shot with anything. I don't care what it is. Let's see what else, man. I don't know. We ran through my stuff here. Anybody other than Yankee being wound up and Bro being wound up? I'll tell you what else sets Yankee off. If you want to get Yankee wound up, tell him you think they should have landmines at the southern border of the United States. Somebody said that in a chat one time a couple weeks ago. Probably, I'm sure they were joking. Well, I don't know. I guess some people are crazy, but he went bananas for about 5 minutes on that, and I was like, oh, struck a nerve there.
He doesn't like being told that the United States isn't a democracy either. I did that once, and we went on for a good 5 minutes on that one.
Yeah, I want to go back, and I watched like I said, I watched a little bit of it. He wasn't quite through with his Hickok rant tonight, so I'm interested to see how long it went. But it is a shame, and some of the things he said, I agree with, and I think it's kind of a bummer. And he made the comment that Hickok had made the comment about his viewers not really caring about Second Amendment, or not. There's like, I think if that's true, that's a horrible attitude, I think. Just because 99.9% of the people wouldn't really care either way if you promoted the Second Amendment, that little percentage that does, I think it's effect, that might be affected by it in a positive way. I think that's important. What we got out there?
He was talking about, in that video he made, he was talking about how he always went to SHOT Show, and he's like, well, it's kind of the same thing, and the people that make all the videos, well, nobody's really into, and then he stopped like mid-sentence. So he pretty much slammed everybody that went there and made videos and showed products. And that should show you the type of guy that dude is. And I've lost so much respect for that old guy. I'm just hoping he just like gets strikes on his video, so he just goes away and becomes irrelevant.
You talking about Hickok or Yankee?
Hickok.
What did he say?
He was dogging people for doing videos at SHOT Show. And that's just not right, man. And he kind of like caught himself. It's in that time span Yankee said, like the first 25 minutes. And he caught himself right at the last second, and then he went back to talking about negotiating his rights away to shoot on his property. I'm like, well, You learned something from the NRA, didn't you? Negotiating your rights away.
Wait, what happened now? I didn't see any of this. This is a Hickok video that we're talking about, or is it a more than one video?
Yeah, it was Shooting the Breeze, and I had mentioned it on Sandhill Shooter's little Facebook page, and I mean, the first 25 minutes of his spiel was horrible. It was like, can you honestly believe this guy just said this? That the NRA is the greatest thing since sliced bread, that they're fighting for your rights, and they're doing everything possible. And then he started talking about him hypothetically doing stuff. And then he started to dog on people that went to SHOT Show. And it's like, how does this guy keep his viewership? His viewers must be as shallow as he is. And it behooves me to see how he acted in that video. And I hope it does affect him.
Podcast.
What's that?
Is it a video? Like he's sitting there with the camera on him?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just sitting in the woods with his single action Colt.
Oh, okay.
The Crown Jewel.
About people who went, I thought he went to SHOT Show.
Yeah, he said he did, but he said that's not. He said that. What he said something like that's. He's like, what did he say, man? I'd have to go back and see it. He's like, people don't really want to see that, and then he just kind of stopped talking about it. Like he caught himself mid-sentence. You can tell he's like, better not say that. But it came out.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but
what did Yankee say?
Oh, Yankee chewed him up tonight on his show. Basically, from the little bit that I watched Yankee's show tonight, he was pretty hard on him, for sure. I think it's something like we've talked about. A lot of us have talked about before. It's normalizing guns is awesome. I think that's important to make people realize that normal people like and enjoy guns, and they think they're important, and they know they're. But I think it's important for us to, also voice why we think they're important. And it's great. It's cool that guns are cool. Like I've said that before. Like people be like, why would you buy that? I'm like, because it's cool. Why, if you had the money and you think something's cool, you buy it. Awesome. Have a blast. But the Second Amendment side of it is, becoming more important, to me, to mention it and talk about it a little bit. Not that I'm some sort of authority on anything, but I think it's important for guys like me and guys like us, whatever, to talk about it and at least put it out there. And somebody with the kind of reach that he has.
He just said guys like me and guys like us, but he left women out of it because he's a sexist.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, G. Thanks. You're really making me look good here, man.
That's twice tonight.
What did Obnoxious give you? What did he pay you? What did you take?
I paid him in oranges.
He paid you in oranges?
Little orange slices. They're vegan, I believe.
I hope so.
Ones? Those are the best.
I hope they're vegan. Jesus Christ, if you give them an orange and it's not vegan, where the hell are you getting your oranges from?
Well, I meant the little orange slices.
Oh, like the gummies.
Yeah.
The gummy things. Oh, they're probably not vegan unless they're specifically done with. Yeah, they might have gelatin in them.
I just want to say I fully support women, and there was never a dance contest back in the 80s where I wore makeup.
That never happened. Nobody's ever heard of that until now. And now everybody's wondering. You really shot yourself in the foot there. But Yankees' point was you've got a hell of a reach, and you're, as far as the Second Amendment goes, you're wasting it. And I think that's a shame. And he doesn't have to be the kind of guy, and not everybody is the kind of person, not just guy, the kind of person that, pounds on the table and gets all wound up and wound up. Hickok's never going to be the wound up son-of-a-bitch of the week. He ain't never going to get it. Never. But
no, he's always hot. How's he going to get that?
But just him you know, if he does a video with an AR and AK, which he does, AK pistols, AR pistols, like all this stuff. If at the end of that video he had 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds, 10 seconds of him holding that and looking into the camera and saying, you know, I love this rifle. This is great. You know, we need to band together and make sure that, you know, we fight for our rights, and, you know, then let the video end. Like even something as simple as that. I mean, I think it would be awesome. So
well, I just watched about a minute of his video because I saw people saying like the 25-minute mark. So I was just going to see if there was something specific at the 25-minute mark. And right about 24 and a half minutes, he starts talking about compromising to keep our ARs if we went down to just 20-round magazines. And then he goes on to say, you know, he likens it as, you know, he says the Hickok Rifle Association or the Hickok Shooting Association or something. And well, if you had to do that to keep your ARs, then what's the problem with that?
Yeah, and that's how I used to think. You know, you know, when I was a kid, I was like, I don't want an AR. Why would I want it? I don't need an AR. I want to, you know, and, you know, as you get older, and whether you want one or not, I think you have to see the importance of them as a symbol and as a tool. And it's kind of it's a bummer to have somebody that has the reach that he does to kind of promote that view rather than the view of what a lot of us think, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't have to be Night Strike, but he's got to be, you know, for somebody with, what was it, almost 4 million subs?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's got, it says 3.9 million subs under here. If you're making your money off firearms, you've got a responsibility to those subs and to the people that are watching you to have at least a little stronger stance, not this, well, if it's the only way we're going to keep them. No, there's 90 million gun owners in the U.S.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm not too hard on people, you know. I'm not gonna say the guy's, you know, horrible for what he's doing or whatnot. I don't have super strong opinions either way. I think he's more of a missed opportunity for the Second Amendment than anything else. And I know he's come to some rallies. He was it Ohio's rally, I think. I can't remember, it wouldn't have been Ohio. It would have been Tennessee's or something like that.
No,
he's in Tennessee.
Ohio.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was Ohio's.
You know, and it's a simple thing, and he showed up, and I'm sure it helped get some sort of press or some sort of attention. I mean, not so much press, but maybe attention. And that's what I think his viewers or his fans or his subscribers, I think they deserve that. Somebody that has made a huge name for himself shooting guns to help protect them, I think is important. Oh boy, what we got out there?
The dude is a shill. That's all he is. He's an empty shell of whatever he believed in. And you can tell by when he went to that rally, when Budget went and met him, everybody under the comments and all those things were like, that's the Hickok we want to see. That's the Hickok. Nobody wants to see the way he's acting right now. Nobody is in favor of that. And it's sad that he's not like acknowledging like people don't like him like that.
It's super detrimental. It's super detrimental to the cause, you know, to whatever you want to call it. To see somebody with that type of following just kind of, well, I don't know, I guess. What does it matter? I don't know. Who cares? It's just a 30-round magazine, you know, and it's a shame. What's up, Budget? You pissed off? You showed up because you're pissed off about something?
I'm getting a little wound up. I'm not going to be the sumbitch, though. Yes, it was Ohio's rally that he was at. I did video of that. Matter of fact, I have a video of that on my channel. I think I'm going to have to go revisit that and go over it with a fine-tooth comb and make another video and kind of put his words back out at him. Because, you know, to go to that rally and, you know, stand up for the second, which was great. But then to sit here and say, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch to see exactly what he said because in full disclosure, I haven't watched his video yet. But when I do, I'm absolutely going to make a response video and throw his own words back at him and ask him what the hell changed. Not that he's even going to watch my video, but maybe someone will, and maybe it'll get to him. I don't know. But I'll absolutely throw his words at him.
And that's one of the most frustrating things, I think, for me, is when you see some of these guys like people, some of these people like people, not guys, people, like that. How do you
guys in the generic sense?
Yes. Thank you.
You don't have to be PC.
Thank you. How do you get them to come out of their shell, as it were? You know, G, what do you think? I mean, you know, is somebody like Hickok, is he a lost cause? You know, is he never going to be what we want him to be? Is, you know, or how do you get through to somebody like that with all those subs? It's making a lot of money still, I'm sure. You know, they've got a lot of sponsorship and their sponsors, they're kind of towing the line. Is he a lost cause or what do you think?
No. I mean, you can't ever say anybody's a lost cause unless you've like exhausted all kinds of resources trying to convert them or change their mind. I don't know the guy, so I can't say much. But I was also going to throw out there, since you were talking about, I don't really know exactly what's going on, but it sounds like he did some kind of his podcast where he just sits there and talks.
Yes, I didn't see it, but apparently that's what it is. Yeah.
And then he said something that Roll Call was saying there, that he basically was saying something about there's some compromise room or something with AR-15s. I would say that he can have his own opinion all he wants, but when he's got a massive, would you say 300,000 subs?
4 million.
4 million subs.
Yeah.
When he's got 4 million subs, and I don't know how many views he gets to that particular video, but when he's got at least that much reach and who knows the kind of influence he has, then that's a disservice to the second and to somebody needs to talk to him. I mean, he needs to. He can't just say, "Oh, I can say whatever I want to 4 million people," when the consequences are our Second Amendment protected rights.
Can I read his pinned comment under his video?
I don't know. Can you read?
I can actually.
Okay. Then give it a shot.
Okay, this is his pinned comment under this video, and I haven't watched the whole video. Like I said, I watched like a minute and a half of it just to see what it was. But
wait. Just let me double check. When did he post this video?
February 8th.
Okay.
So this last week. By the way, I realized it would be easy to quote unquote poke holes in my little quote gun control hypothetical story, but I'm not silly enough to try to affect diehard drama-loving NRA haters. My intent was just to give reasonable folks something to think about that might not have occurred to them. A lot of people seem to think the Second Amendment supporting politicians and NRA, ILA lie awake at night dreaming up ways to sneak in more gun control, hoping they get to compromise our rights away. In the real world, as opposed to the fantasy land a lot of people live in, once the gun-hating politicians and the mindless voters who voted them into office have us by the throat with gun control measures imminent that are going to pass into law, we're fighting for our lives. When 15 highly armed killers break in your door and give you two choices, we kill your entire family or you give us that nice car in the driveway, be sure you don't give in and compromise. There has been a lot of compromise, and when I give emphasis, that's him in quotes. There has been a lot of compromising, but the compromising most gun owners have done over the years is what puts our politicians and gun rights organizations in situations where there's no way to win. gun owners have compromised our rights away by either not voting at all or by voting into office people who want to ban guns. Gun owners especially have compromised for years by not supporting gun rights groups, whether it be the NRA, the GOA, or others. Over 100 gun million in this country, yet only around 6 or 7 million belong to gun rights organizations. I will give him that point. This has been a serious issue for decades, which many of us have addressed continually. Way too many have always been riding in the wagon while the rest of us have pulled the wagon. So he's pulling the wagon while we're riding in it, just so you know. That has not changed much. Here's where the compromise exists and has existed for a long time. My guess is many of the very same people who childlessly parrot the word compromise accusations these days are likely the very same people who have been the real compromisers causing the problem. As is often the case in this world, things are not always as they appear. Critical thinking skills are pretty uncommon these days. The end.
Yeah, it would have been a lot shorter for him to make a video and say all that than type it in this stupid chat.
So I have a rebuttal to that. Fuck him.
Screw you. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just don't.
It'll be interesting to see how all those 15 armed guys are going to get away in your one Prius.
Everybody, let's go. We're moving out. Okay.
That's probably what it is. It's a group of armed clown guys who need to practice how many of them they can jam into a Volkswagen.
Yeah, it's just
like I said, not everybody's got to be night strike, but we do need the night strikes. Not everybody's got to be the open carry Texas guys, but you need the open carry Texas guys.
100%, and that's what it's been. That's what it's all been all about for me. For me, it's the gun channels and YouTube and all that. That's one of the biggest things it's been about for me is being a voice of just an everyday dude. And how important that is. And you know, but on a larger scale, you've got somebody like him with 4 million subscribers, and a lot of them are young people, I'm sure, because honestly, I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong, I usually am, but older seasoned gun owners aren't the ones watching his videos so much, I doubt. They might watch a video here and there to, you know, if he happens to be, or they might search out a video that has a gun that they might be interested in. But I don't know, guys that are really into guns, I can't see that they're very interested in watching those boring ass videos. I would imagine it's people that don't.
The point that you just made, really, is that Hickok, we need the Hickok 45s, just like we need the Night Strikes, just like we need the Yankees. Shudder to think of that. But yes, we do. We also need the Hickok 45s because they're the gateway drug, so to speak, for these younger viewers. Yeah, we even need the demolition ranches because they are the gateway drug for these younger viewers.
That's what I was exactly fixing to say. Is we need them to because they're the entry point to.
Yeah,
that guy.
But I think that with their reach, you know, my just under 3,000 subs self does everything I can every week to spread this word, okay? I think that it is a responsibility to try to preserve this right for future generations. These guys have 3-4 million subs. I think it's their duty as well to at least nudge somebody down that road. You know, if they don't want to go full on shall not be infringed, hey, I get that. You know, that's why they have 4 million subs. That's why they have sponsorships. You know, when it comes from a financial standpoint, they're probably a lot smarter than we are. But that doesn't mean that you can't do exactly like you said. Take 20 seconds at the end of a video and says, hey, if you want to keep your rights just keep your right to shoot guns like you just saw here today, take a second and go visit the NRA. Take a second to go visit the Second Amendment Foundation. Take a second to go visit the Gun Owners of America. Join your local or state gun rights organization. Just 10 seconds to do that would make a tremendous difference as opposed to our piddling ass.
He has he has the opportunity to get people active. And no matter how they get active, if they get active, it's a win for the Second Amendment. It doesn't have to be somebody that goes and does that goes full blast doing all this crazy shit. If they get active in a way, that, I did by finding Yankee and watching some of his goofy ass videos and then him talking about gun channels and, all this stuff, it snowballs. So, I don't want him out there, if it's 16, 17, 18-year-old kids or younger that like his videos because they're like, look, this old guy's a teacher and he's pretty cool. And look, he's talking about smoking pot. They love smoke a little pot, and he shoots the potted, the plant pot or whatever. And I'm sure there's young kids out there that are like, this guy's like my teacher at school. This is awesome, and he likes guns. And that's cool. That's great. That's really good. But where's that little extra that we deserve and the Second Amendment deserves? That little extra from him. And I just don't know why he's not willing to give it. Why not?
Because
it's a shame.
The NRA would cut him off. I mean, that's the way I read that whole thing is. This is why I'm justifying my relationship with the NRA.
The NRA pays him. I mean, they're a major sponsor of the channel and everything.
He doesn't need the goddamn money, and that's
no, he doesn't.
Fuck that. That's bullshit. You know what? If he's what is he trying to prove now? He won. He wins the internet, right? Like, congratulations, Hickok. You fucking won the internet. You got 4 million subs, sitting, lunking rounds in your backyard. You fucking win. Now that you've won, what more can you do? And it's not sit in a goddamn Adirondack chair and talk about like, well, maybe it would be okay if we gave him this. That's no big deal. Oh, fuck that. That's fucking stupid. If you're fucking wasting your abilities. And it's a shame.
And where you're looking at it wrong is you're right. He doesn't need the money. Doesn't mean he doesn't want the money.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
There's the difference. It's not that he doesn't, that he needs it. He wants it.
And then you see people on the other, the opposite of that too, that they made it. They made something happen and they're popular and they're making good money, and they use their powers for good and not evil. You know what I mean? They do push it, And there's people out there that are broke as shit, and they push the positive Second Amendment agendas, and those are the ones that you have fucking respect for. The guys that are doing it, on a shoestring budget, and they're out there pounding the pavements and getting people fired up and being leaders. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be a leader. Some people don't want to be leaders. You don't have to want to be a leader to be a leader, though. Like you say, I don't want to. I'm nobody's leader. I don't want to be. But your actions motivate and your actions inspire. And if your actions inspire and motivate, then you're a pretty good fucking leader in my book. And that's what's important.
You know what? That's like those athletes saying, "Well, I don't want to be no role model." Tough shit.
Yeah, bullshit.
You already are.
Bullshit.
Whether
right.
you want it or not, you have it. So do something with it.
Absolutely.
So let me pose this question. When do we stop giving them a pass? When do we? Because I seen a video that Demolition Ranch did, and he was crying, "Oh, my stuff's getting demonetized." Well, there's a reason for that, buddy. There's an assault on firearms, and it goes back before I could even carry a firearm, buy a firearm, or even knew what a firearm was. And you figured that would snap that dude out of the I better do something, but you've never heard anything out of them. They care about money. That's all they care about. And I'm telling you, I have no respect for those guys. They have such a huge reach. If they were like, well, guess what? I'm going to have a rally. I bet you a third of their subscribers would show up, and they would pound that pavement in front of those buildings. And I pose that question: when do we stop giving these guys a pass and we hold their feet to the fire and say, look, you either get on board or good luck with your NRA money, because we're going to start exploding all kinds of new stuff for other organizations. We're going to start pulling membership from the NRA and start putting it somewhere else where we don't have to sit here and struggle, and we definitely don't have to compromise anymore. I want to see the time when we stop giving these guys passes. You know, everybody talks about so much reach that they have, even I do, but yet they don't do it. When do we hold their feet to the fire for it?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so just a thought. This isn't my opinion. This is just devil's advocate kind of thought.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what if, well, Hickok's not a very good example, but Demo Ranch, he doesn't say anything, doesn't try to promote anything, period. He just goes out there and does what he does and tries to make money, but you know what I mean. He doesn't promote the NRA like Hickok or any of that, just does what he does, doesn't get political at all in any of his videos. Is there not, you know, I know we were saying there's kind of a place for that, but is there not a place for that? Because some people really, honestly, don't want to hear it. I mean, truthfully, there are people out there that are not interested.
I knew what you were going to say, and I totally agree. In a sense that, like, he's, you know, Demo Ranch is out there and he's just blowing things up, and he's, you know, and he's dual wielding this thingamajigger and that thingamajigger, and he's shooting through a whole bunch of trees and doing whatever. And is that effective in getting young people into, you know, firearms? Is it getting them excited about firearms? Yes. And is that good? Yes. Yes, it is. Well, okay. I mean, yeah, I don't.
Has it been proven? Has anybody ever tested it through? Do we have more shooters because of that? Has anybody ever said, hey, I came in because I saw Demolition Ranch, I never heard of guns before?
Yeah, I watch a lot of those, you know, Russian dash cam, you know, highway fights, and I don't want to drive to Russia and get in a fight in traffic.
You don't want to speed or whatever. You don't want to emulate that here. Let me put this out there. How often does some lady who doesn't know nothing, or some guy who doesn't know nothing, because I'm not sexist, watch a YouTube video and see
son of a bitch.
Like, oh, look, they just wasted a bunch of iPhones. Those iPhones could have gone to a good cause, and they just shot them all with a gun, which was made to kill. And this is entertaining for kids. Now I hate guns even more. How often has that happened with their 3 million views? Well, okay, not Hickok, but they have more views than Hickok, don't they? So with these people that are, I'm going to keep using the word exploiting guns, because they don't give a shit. If guns, can I say shit on here? They don't give a damn.
Sure, go right ahead.
Outlawed tomorrow, guess what they're doing? They're shooting a crossbow at iPhones. And if crossbows are outlawed, then they're dragging it behind his motorboat. And if gas is outlawed, then they're going to step on them with high-heeled boots. But they don't give a crap, because they're going to just keep doing whatever panders to the whoever watches their crap. So I don't think they get a pass. And I want to know how much damage they're doing at some point.
Yeah. What are the pluses and minuses? Right. No, I totally agree. And that's not an answer that I sure as hell can. I'm just a cook. Man.
No,
I can't keep that answer.
I was just curious at the other side of it. You know, I wasn't saying
no. I totally, and I knew, like I said, I knew where you were going with it. As soon as you started talking, I was like, because I feel the same way. It's like you play devil's advocate, and you're like, is this doing more harm than good, or is it doing more good than harm? And I don't have the answer to that. And somebody like G, you've been around the block. You know, your opinion is, that's why I like your opinion so much, because you've been there, done that. You know, my the Jew said Steven Seagal was just a cook. You know,
I remember years of people coming on board and saying, when I say on board, like into comments online, in the discussions, right? Coming on board and saying, nothing fancy. I came here because of nothing fancy. And then I can remember a minute or two of people going, and maybe every once in a while, like a splattering of like FPS Russia, because he had a big splash, but not in gun. So compared to nothing fancy, who was more of like camping and stuff, and then he did guns, people came to guns from nothing fancy. I know that. Now, of course, I was paying more attention because we were all on YouTube together or whatever. I cannot remember very many people coming from Hickok, but a lot of us assumed grandfather, school teacher, nice guy, never hurt anybody. You know, seems like he's not mean to nobody. You know, it's right on. But I don't know of anybody. I can't remember anybody saying, "Oh, I became into guns because I saw a Hickok video," or that made me feel comfortable. I wanted to learn more. He certainly doesn't point at anybody. You ever watch a Hickok video and he goes, "And here's somebody else in the gun community that also makes videos."
Right.
He tried that for a minute back in the day, but anyway, throwing that up.
Well, speaking of nothing fancy, you know, a lot of people give him a bunch of shit for having all these long videos and whatnot, and people, you know, think he's a goober. But you know what? He does something with his reach. He at least will do political call to actions about Second Amendment topics and spread that word too. So people can give him all the shit they want. He does something with his reach.
And he will not waver on that. You can love him or hate him. He's there.
Not a bit.
He's also not sticking fish on the end of guns, but that's.
Well, and that's I mean, and that's always been my issue too with Langdon Tactical. When Ghost and Clover started riding his ass a little bit, I didn't know anything about him and started watching a video or two, and because of them, and then one or two came up under my suggested, and I've watched a couple, and I was like, he said a couple of goofy things in that video, and just misinformation, and I'm just not. I really, really highly respect people that if you tell them they said something wrong or call out a mistake or, whatever, you know what I mean, that will own up to it and say, oh boy, it's okay. Yeah. And that was not him. That's, I didn't want nothing to do with him.
Yeah. That Braden guy, you ask him about something, and if he doesn't like the question or if he doesn't, or whatever, he'll just ban you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just seen him do a couple things that and we talk about young kids and younger people watching these and being role models and people emulating. I've seen him do a couple of things that I didn't think was all that safe. And I sure as hell wouldn't want my kid doing, seeing it and trying it himself. So I didn't really like that. Haterade said Ghost and Clover brought more attention to the guy than he deserved. Yeah, I mean, but it does, like I said, it brings attention to it, but that doesn't mean that attention's positive. And it is kind of good it's nice to have people on your radar just to know who's out there doing what, Sometimes you learn from the good, but you also learn from people doing stupid stuff too. Seven Wonder said, I first found Yankee, then Hickok. He's not evil, but just doesn't help the 2A like we wish he would. Absolutely. Hank said Night Strike started the gun culture on YouTube when he created it. That poor guy.
I can confirm that.
Discover it. He created it.
Oh, did he create YouTube? Because he discovered Yankee, so I didn't know if he created it.
Well, yeah, he discovered Yankee because Yankee was on the platform that Night Strike invented.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like Christopher Columbus discovered America, right? Even though there was fucking people living here already.
I suspect he may have created Yankee too.
Oh, that's a tough one, man. Boy, I'm sure he broke the mold after that one, huh?
I mean,
Christopher says, wow, this sure is a... Go ahead.
Christopher Columbus was a pretty shitty human being, but let's not lay Yankee on him. I mean, really.
Unknown user says, wow, this sure is a large gathering of Tourette sufferers. Yeah, like to talk over each other too.
I think if you let G go for a little bit longer, he might have got the award for next week.
Yeah, he was doing good. He's doing a good job. Because he's a man. Talking man talk. Oh, boy. What we got going out there?
How come you didn't do the little guy with the fighting hand?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Because it doesn't spin nearly fast enough and hard enough to live up to this week's wound up sumbitch of the week.
Roll call 219. You are the wound up sumbitch of the week.
You're gonna have to get your thumb faster.
Here, we'll do two of them. I can't. That's all I got. He's gonna burst into flames.
Well, that would be fair because I was pretty sure Rokal was gonna burst into flames on.
Oh, he was all hot and stinky. Yeah, it's a good thing he had the fan blowing that internet down there to keep him cool.
You want to know something really bad? I pulled a muscle in my chest after that. so I got a pain in my chest, and it wraps around and hits me in the back.
That's a heart attack.
Is your left arm numb?
Not yet.
Do you smell burnt toast?
Take some aspirin.
It's a stroke. Oh man. Yeah, well, I don't know. What else? We done bitching. We're done bitching about Hickok. Come on down to my place and we'll shoot some bow. And then we're gonna the Mr. Soda Pop or whatever the fuck he says. Is your left nad numb?
When I first started getting into buying guns, I'd watch a Hickok video, and that lasted for about 2 weeks. The problem that I had with his videos is he doesn't explain anything about the guns. You know, he'll take and shoot it for 20 minutes, load it for 10 minutes, and, you know, show you a couple features, but doesn't really teach you anything about the gun. And I'm not saying that that's what his channel is about. I just, once I noticed that that's his thing, is just stand here and, you know, throw rounds down range, I quit watching his stuff because it didn't help me learn anything, or really didn't get me interested in any of the guns that he was shooting.
Yeah. It's like, it is kind of like Guns 101. You know, you watch somebody pull the trigger and shoot, and I don't know. It doesn't really appeal to me. I've watched a couple of videos, and the videos that I have watched have been guns that I was interested in, you know, that I'd searched out, and one of the videos was his, so I'd watch it or something, but it's a bummer. It's just wasted opportunity.
I mean, Yankee did help Hickok out, because I'm sure several of us, I know I haven't watched a Hickok video in probably a year or two, so now I'm got one loaded on my phone to watch as soon as this is over. So yeah, I'm sure some others that'll give him a view for this. So he needs to send Yankee a thank you letter for it.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. That would be a you know, they do the reaction videos. That would be a fun reaction video to watch Hickok watching Yankees show tonight. Oh man, this guy's really mad. Why is he so mad at me?
So in 2010, it was the second biggest channel to Nothing Fancy, but I wanted to have more gun channels out there, so I was going to NRA show in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and I wanted to, and I was getting paid, so I was going to try to get other people, like, you know, into the biz or whatever, like people that were serious about it. So I reached out to him and Such, and Hickok says, "Oh, I can't get there because I got to teach that week." And Such said, "Oh, I can't go there because I'm moving that week, even though I live right next to there." So I'm like, all right, and I go, and then Such does videos from there, and Hickok did videos from there. I'm like, okay, so that was my first interaction with them personally. And then in 2012, me and Haas got in the cop car and drove around the country to meet up with YouTubers, try to get them to, you know, do something in real life, meet up, and this was kind of pre-network, so, you know, do some kind of real life, know each other kind of thing. And not only would he not meet with us, he wouldn't let us go to his place. He was not at all interested. He all but like told people like, leave us alone. So, not a big fan of the dude.
Yeah. Well, it's just a prime example of finding your niche and playing it safe so you don't screw it up, I guess. Don't push that envelope. Bummer.
Did he take a break to suck his thumb?
I'm yawning, tired. Trying not to yawn out loud.
He's trying not to pull a Gary.
Yeah, I'm getting tired. You Seven Wonders needs a marketing advisor. Hey, I figured it out. It's a YouTube feud to get people to watch his channel and videos. Well, there's been an awful lot. There's been quite a few people that Yankee has gotten on that I'm sure it's helped their channels out, which is the double-edged sword, right? You talk shit about somebody, and just like we're talking about Braden's channel, you talk shit about him. You talk about your distaste for their channel or how they work things or what they do or don't do, and it does bring attention to them.
So does that mean if I want to get a bunch of subs, I just need to piss off Yankee and get him to badmouth me on a channel?
Sure.
Sounds like a plan.
That might work.
Sure. I mean, it's gonna. I mean,
like,
it would.
I mean,
no joke. I mean, well, that's the thing. I mean, I've trolled Yankee a little bit just for shits and giggles, but he's only ever gotten my channel name right once. He always reads it wrong, so it doesn't help me out any.
Yeah, Mr. Midnight Ranger over
here. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's not going to work because people are looking for Midnight Ranger, and that ain't me. So that backfired. But,
I'm gonna start
there's
Midnight Ranger.
What's that?
I'm gonna start a channel, Midnight Ranger. So every time you ask him a question, and he screws it up, I'll get a bunch of views on it.
Brilliant! Brilliant.
Here's what Midnight's luck would be, right? He'll change the channel name to Midnight Ranger, and then he'll email Yankee, and he'll actually get the old name right for once.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've never actually looked up to see if there's a Midnight Ranger. There probably is.
The band from the 80s, isn't it?
Well, that's Night Ranger, yeah. Sister Christians, that Sister Christian song. That's a good jam.
Don't Tell Me You Love Me. That was another one of those.
That was a awesome scene in Boogie Nights when they were playing that song. When they were at the dude's house, the coke dealer's house, and they robbed him.
Damn, there's two channels named Midnight Ranger. One of them has 2 videos and 19 videos and 18 subs. The other one has 2 videos and 0 subs. 2
videos and 0 subs. Mm-hmm. Must be
worse than me.
Yeah. Budget Gun Cinema says the kid with the firecrackers. That's right. He's Sister Christian's playing. He's in the robe. It's the guy that played Dr. Octopus in the one Spider-Man movie. And such a weird scene because they're sitting there on the couch and they're all sweating because they're going to rob this dude. And this kid, this like little Asian kids in the background, he's just lighting firecrackers and throwing them, and they're going bang. They're going off and they're jumping. And this is the dude's house that they're at. I forget exactly what he said, but he's like, "Oh, don't mind him. He's Chinese." Like that's supposed to, like they're supposed to go, "Oh yeah, well that makes sense." Yeah.
That explains it all, right?
Don't mind. He's Chinese. Oh, okay.
I'll do that.
Yeah. Boob Sweat says, is that a sinus sniffle or a coke sniffle? Sinus for sure. I'm still trying to kick this chest cold. Now I'm tired too. So yeah, go sub to Midnight Ranger.
You should call it the Outdoor Expo Crud.
Yeah, there you go. The schmutz, because it's in PA. You gotta give it a Pennsylvania Dutch thing. It's the sport, the outdoor show schmutz. Yeah, so go. I hear Midnight Ranger has some awesome awesome videos. Go sub to him. Tell him we said hi. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys anything to add to any of the whining and bitching that I've done tonight? If not, we'll probably call it a night.
I have absolutely zero to add. You should know this.
Yes.
But he's going to talk anyways.
You usually had toilet sounds, but you're slipping today.
Well, you can't hear him in space.
Oh wow, that's whoa!
What?
I'll tell you what, mind blown right there.
A serious question on that note: do you like flip the toilet upside down before you set on it because you don't want things floating back up? Just think.
Well, honestly, and I remember this when I was a kid. Kids are real into space shuttles and shit and spaceships and stuff like that. I remember like watching a little documentary when I was a kid, and that's what they went over a lot of that kind of stuff. Like, oh, here's how they cook their food, and here's how they, the liquid, and so it doesn't go all over the place, and you can't have open containers, and then there's like this the toilet. It's just like it's like a shop vac with a funnel on it. Because you do not want that. You do not want literally that shit floating around in there. You know what I mean?
Do you not remember the Simpsons episode where he was where Homer went to space?
Oh no, boy!
I think he opened like a bag of chips and he was like floating around, just doing a little chomp, 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 eating them out of the air.
That's when he
Oh yeah, it was yeah.
He crashed into the ant farm.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that the one guy at the plant, the new guy, was bitching about. You did this. You went to space. You met the president.
Oh yeah, the guy.
What was the guy's name?
Yeah, I can't remember, but that was funny. He was all ticked off that Homer had a big house, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Here, check these out. This is
Frank Grimes.
And then his son tried killing Homer later because he blamed Homer for his dad having a heart attack or whatever it was. Yeah.
Check out my cool magazine pulls. They're like disco gold. Isn't that crazy?
Perfect, boogie nights.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually kind of the mag I got, because the mag has like that kind of gold. The etching's kind of like gold and not silver, so it actually kind of works on there a little bit. It looks kind of neat. But look, that was like, what an odd color what an odd color. It's like literally it's glitter. It's gold and glitter. I don't know why the hell they would pick that color.
Don't you
do it?
Do you ever have a bicycle? You're a kid.
Yeah, sure.
Bicycle. That's what they would do that with the grips, like where you put your hands.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
They would put it on handles of things, and I think on girl stuff they would do that, like where it was rubber.
That was like
their anniversary. Did they have the mold there?
That was
that's
like
how Magpul started. That's how Magpul, the company, started making that thing. Like what, 40 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it is.
Magazine pulls, Magpul, yeah. I got one of their catalogs. I just thought it was an odd, and I should have asked him. I was like, is there a significance to this color? Why did you guys do this? Just so it stand out? Just so it was like, kind of, I mean, it couldn't have been any cheaper to do this than like gray or anything like that. But literally,
it's the anniversary one. It's the anniversary. They're not going to do gray for their anniversary.
That's true. It's a celebration. It's a celebration, people.
a major award.
Yeah, it's a major award.
Fragile.
Yeah, it's Italian. It says fragile.
Fragile. It's Italian.
I thought
this is a major award
at first.
It's a goddamn award, Alice. Whatever his wife's name. I don't know. So, all right. Let's get the hell out of here. Call it a night. I think we did enough crying. I think Gizzard might be sleeping.
You think?
Oh shit! There he is. Some bitch.
Turn it on the camera, smartass. See what happens.
I wasn't gonna do that, but Nat Gizzard, you tonight are the woke up sumbitch of the week because I think you were sleeping.
Yeah, damn right I am. Let me tell you,
he's got his alarm set for every 15 minutes,
and I'm tired of people talking to me like I go to sleep all the time.
No, woke up sumbitch of the week.
Woke up sumbitch.
You woke up wound up some bitch.
I think you woke me up. What do you want?
We're saying goodbye, Giz. We're saying goodbye.
Goodbye? Oh no.
So give us a plug.
Give you the bird.
There you
go. Thanks for having me. GizzardGary.com, Foul Territory, Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. What else? Give him the bird. Like
Gary must have got a good nap.
Everybody on the panel, especially Midnight Range TM, and definitely not the gun snob.
Oh shit! Boy, he let you
Gary
have it.
Got
there,
a good nap. See, he's got all kinds of energy.
You can sub to a snob's wife, but not gun snob. No.
Interesting.
Yeah, sub to everybody, even the gun snob. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. G, thanks for coming. Thanks for all your input tonight. I appreciate it. I always look forward to your points of views. You got anything coming up?
Stuff. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna do some shit and stuff. More stuff. David Bowling. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making the trip up here today. At a blast hanging with you. Had a good time having a sidekick for the show. So, what you got coming up?
Not too much. It was a good time. Thanks for hanging out. Pretty interesting show. Check out Travis P11 over on guntube.org. He's got a giveaway video over there. And probably one day this week, if not Saturday, I'll post my GunTube and Gun Channels exclusive video. So go check that stuff out. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let me go again.
Okay.
So I did have something to say. Let me say thanks to both of you guys for going to that outdoor show and then doing the Gun Channels patch and giving that patch to Tony. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was Tony. I liked Tony from the first 10 minutes he was on your show that day. I was like, I like this guy. I got to meet this guy. He seems like a real good dude and a good sense of humor and really likes what he's doing. You know, he's good energy level. He's excited and we had a blast. So yeah, that was one of the things I thought of last night when I was getting my bag together. I was like, you know what? I better take a couple Gun Channels patches just to make sure you guys had them because I really, proud to be a member. You know, I'm proud to be part of the team. So it's cool. User says, can you end this already? My date charges by the hour and you guys are hindering my performance. Okay, let's speed it up here because we're on the clock. Budget, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you stopping by.
I appreciate it. I'm Budget Guns and Gear Reviews. You can find me here on YouTube at Budget Guns and Gear Reviews. You can find me on the web at www.budgetgunsandgear.com. I'm on, excuse me, goddamn, I'm going to choke to death. Trying to run my mouth
your own self-promotion?
That'll work.
Even though you're not on your own show, you can figure out how to give yourself some sort of technical difficulties.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Damn. So You can find me on GunTube, GunStreamer, YouTube, CocoScope, as always, over on Gun Channels, the water cooler of the Internet Second Amendment community. 24/7, 365, someone to talk to and something to talk about. Go check it out.
Absolutely. Obnoxious one.
Yes, sir.
Some bitch. What's going on with you?
Thank you for having me on the show tonight. It was nice not to be left out like last week. Have to rely on Sarge to sneak me an invite and get me on. So glad to be here. I've got this week's Orange You Glad It's Not the Closer will be Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then Sarge will be on at 11 p.m. Saturday.
Very cool.
That's
Rich?
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go acoustic tonight, as in unplug.
Oh, fancy pants.
Yeah, fancy. I ain't gonna plug anything.
Snob's having trouble out there with the wife again. Snob, roll call. You're up. Sorry, buddy. I don't want to gizzard you.
Well, it doesn't matter. My stuff isn't the greatest in the world. Working on some videos. I got some videos going down. I gotta edit another one. So one will be coming out tomorrow. I made a bad decision. And hopefully it'll work out, but it might not be that diamond in the rough. But look for those videos on my YouTube channel. I'm on GunStreamer, guntube.org. I hang out on Gun Channel sometimes. I should be on there a lot more. Don't tell G about that. But
I won't tell him. No, I won't rat you out.
Yeah, it's just between us. G will never know.
Yeah, Tulsa's coming up, so everybody get ready for Tulsa. And then when I see the gun snob, I'm gonna hug his wife. And then other than that, thanks for inviting me, man.
Absolutely. Snobberooski, what's pooping?
So last night I noticed during the Orange You Glad It's Not the Closer show that my wife quit commenting. So I was like, wonder what happened to her. So I walk in the house after we got off the after chat and took this picture. Her phone still
Sleeping
on
Beauty.
With the end of the chat still up.
There you go.
On my pillow asleep.
Sleeping Beauty.
Uh-oh. Now you're in even more trouble.
So apparently Obnoxious does put her to sleep.
So
you're welcome.
Actually, chat nap too is what you're telling
You're
me.
not. You haven't really made it until you've fallen asleep on a chat, though. That's
you're in trouble now. So.
I know.
She's like killing you now. Literally, she just said it.
She wasn't on the chat though, was she? She wasn't on the panel, was she?
No, she wasn't on the panel.
Oh, well, that's shit. That's no big deal then. Shit, I've fallen asleep in panels before. That's the last time that I thought I could stretch out, lay out in bed. Just be like, oh man, I'm tired. It feels good to stretch out a little bit, stretch out, lay down in bed, and talk to some guys on the chat. Last time I did that because I passed out.
Anyways, but yeah, I just released a new video, so y'all can go watch that after this. It actually dropped during your show, not on purpose, but that's because how long it takes my internet to upload. It's been uploading for like 4 hours. So
how long? So have you ever been punched in the face while you're sleeping?
No, but I made a night.
He was getting punched in the face.
Holy Jesus.
What the shit is going on in Gizzard's house? Christ.
That's the ugliest chicken I've ever seen in my life. It looks more like Nemo.
Are we sure that's a chicken?
Looks like Nemo.
Holy Christ, look at that thing. It's like wow, it's like the Partridge Family bus threw up on it.
I think it's cute how Snob's wife thinks she needs to censor herself in your chat.
Yes. F star, you shark boy.
Well, that's one too many stars.
Yes. you got 4.
She counts like roosted.
Maybe she was making it plural. telling you to
That thing
do it multiple times.
That chicken looks like he got into Grandpa's cough medicine or something, man.
I think he ate at your restaurant, man.
You googly-eyed bitch. That's what happens when you eat those gas station meat sticks. That's what you look like when you're on the toilet. You just can't get it out fast enough, man. All right, I might try and edit one of these short videos tonight and get it out yet. I got a couple that were pretty cool. And I got the one from Mossberg. I got oh man, I forgot to talk about one of them. I have a video that I stopped at the Gerber booth, and you guys are always giving me a hard time about having tactical spatulas and shit like that. So I saw something at the Gerber booth that I thought was really cool, really fun, and involved food. So I'm gonna have a quick little video on that. So maybe I'll put that one out tonight or tomorrow. The baby food Gerber. No, that's actually what my wife said. I came home and I was like, I talked to the people at Gerber and I did a cool video and blah blah. And she was like, Gerber like baby food? I'm like, no, not the fucking baby food. Not the fucking baby food. Yeah, I was like, I saw a big pile of strained peas and I was like, man, I gotta hit these guys up.
Hey, we can get these 2A people at like 3 months old, man.
Yeah, exactly. Here's your strained peas and your little baby AR. All right, we're gonna call it a night. Kingpin took off on us. He got something going on. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. This has been The CLoser, 10:30 Eastern-ish on Sundays. Thanks for coming, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Give him the bird.
Birds have birds.
Got node.